Hi guys, this is my first video. I wanted to take a second to talk a little bit about fostering and what's involved and what the home study looked like, what the classes look like, kind of the process to get to where we are right now. First and foremost, the first thing that you have to do is the classes. They're foster parent classes. They are, I believe it was 8 weeks, 8 classes, and I'm here in Florida, so this is for Florida. It was 8 classes, 1 night a week, for 3 hours. And they give you a packet of homework, and it's based on your life. So it asks you questions about your home, what your likes and dislikes are for a child, what you're willing to tolerate in a child. Are you willing to work with a child with disabilities? Are you willing to work with a child that has, specific problems, physical handicaps, fire starting, of different ethnicities, anything and everything you can think of that a person can be a variable of. They want to know if you're willing to accept that in a child. So the classes were the easiest. You go, you sit, you and your husband, by yourself, your spouse, significant other, whoever you're, whoever you're doing this process with. It is just me and my husband, so for our process, we did our homework, we did the classes. At the end of the classes, you get a certificate that tells you, that you completed the courses, whatnot. We're located on the water, so we had to take a water safety class and also I'm having a brain fart right now, but there was another class we had to take also. It was water and something else that we had to do safety on. So that was that. The home study process was, I would say it's quick if you get what you need done right the first time. So there was things that, like, when you're in the classes, they say, oh, we want to get you licensed as soon as possible, which is great. Like, we were supposed to be licensed a week before we completed our classes. But that didn't happen because we had, issues with different things in our house. So, for example, they give you a list of everything that needs to be done in the house that you might or might not already have. We didn't have a lot, probably 98% of the stuff because we don't have children. So, like, our medicine wasn't locked up. You have to have medicine locked up. We have alcohol in the home. Alcohol has to be, placed out of reach of any child, any age, doesn't matter. So, like, we had a shelf that we had, displaying our, top shelf liquors and stuff. We had to take that out. And we had to put it in our garage where we could lock, the garage door so they couldn't get in there. Things like that. I decided to put all of my cleaning supplies under the sink. I think a majority of homes do that. Maybe you have it in a pantry, whatever. But the lock that I had on my kitchen, under my kitchen sink, that was not acceptable. You can't use the little pull tab, the push and pull to slide off. You can't use those. They have to be the magnetic locking locks for your for cleaning supplies. So therefore, we had to, like, when she came the first time, she did a walkthrough. She checked all the bathrooms. She checked the rooms. One thing that I didn't really think would matter, but she had to flush a toilet. I thought that was kind of, weird, but whatever. I guess to make sure it's, running water, working water. They do a lot of different stuff, like they had to check something for the temperature on the shelf as well as in the door. Like, they had to take 2 separate temperatures of food or drink or, something you have in your fridge. She checked our butter and our jelly. The butter was on the shelf, the jelly was on the door. What else? But it was stuff like that. So like the first time that was an issue was the magnetic locks on the doors. And the first walkthrough was really easy. You know, she came in, she did a walkthrough, and then she just asked questions. You know, like she sits you down and she talked to me and my husband about, you know, our likes and dislikes, what our deal breakers are, how we communicate, if we argue, how do we argue, can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but it's really basic stuff. It's not like I was very stressed and very overwhelmed, and I felt like I was being judged, which you kind of are, but your home isn't being judged. You know, it's you as a family, as a unit, that they're looking into, whether or not, you know, you're a safe and stable home for these children. What else? So after the first walkthrough, she gave us a list of pretty much like, okay, next time I come back, have A through Z done. You know, make sure the kitchen cabinets, instead of that lock that you have, that they're magnetic. Make sure that our water temperature on the water heater, that had to be a certain degree. I think it's between 101 and 125. And ours was like 135, so we had to bring that down. You know, so like a list of different things that when she came out the second time, she just had to check those things and then we would be done. So when she came the second time, you know, there was a couple things I forgot, like, well, not that I forgot, but we kind of messed up. Like, you have to have a fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher I purchased was not the correct, you know, unit that they needed. They had needed a specific kind of fire extinguisher. So that was harder for me to find. So she had to come out actually a third time. The water heater didn't work. You know, like when I turned it down, the temperature actually went up. So, and that was on my, you know, that was on me and my husband because we didn't do it properly. So it's just stuff like that. And each time she comes out, she just, you know, tells you again, okay, these are the things you need for next time. And it's not a big deal. It's not like, oh my gosh, why don't you have this done? It's just, okay, well, when you're ready, let me know. We'll come out and we'll get it done again. And then, you know, sometimes she has more questions, more family related stuff. Sometimes it's not, you know. Sometimes she just says, okay, sign this paper that says I was here, and she'll show you all the paperwork that every time she comes, or, you know, whoever comes into your home for licensing, they'll give you a paper and you have to sign it. And if you have children or not in the home, you have to write out all the children's information. So that's kind of it. I just wanted to go ahead and make a video about it, and let you know, if you have any questions or anything. I'm more than happy to help anybody that wants information, wants to get involved, wants help, or is nervous about getting prepared for the home study. I'm here for you. So I was very nervous. I looked up a lot of YouTube videos. They helped me a ton because I felt like very anxious, like, oh my gosh, somebody's going to come in my house. And, if one thing's dusty or there's dog hair somewhere or, something, I felt like, oh my gosh, it needs to be spotless, but it really doesn't. It's your home. It's how you live daily. So if your home has, if the cushions aren't the right way and something's not where it's supposed to be, or you have laundry, a laundry basket in the living room, it's home. That's how we live. If these people are going to be coming in and out of your home spontaneously, they're not going to call and say, hey, we're on our way, we'll be there in an hour, and you have an hour to get your home, picked up or spruced up or however you want to call it, before they get there. They're going to be like, hey, we're outside, open the door, and you're expected to let them in. They're going to come into your home, and it's going to look like when you have family show up unexpectedly, or friends or whatever. If something's out of place, it's out of place. Who cares? It's family, except these people aren't. So you have to be comfortable with that, and know that going in. So think that's it for me. Just kind of wanted to say hi and just let everybody know what's going on, and hopefully give somebody some good advice on, their process and their home study. So that's it. Thanks.